Joe, that's a Hall of Fame terrible take right there.
No, it's not. It's true. It's so true.
What?
Boy just choked. Straight women booty and let the ball go.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
LeBron James
puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound
Right for him.
back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Irving and Curry. One-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
Oh, yeah, but we'll get to explaining and debating in a second. Joseph, how we feeling?
Tired. But we're here. What we here?
I feel you.
We're here. I'm ready for Christmas to be over.
Man, all the travel, all the festivities, all the different things going on. We've been a little less consistent this early part of the NBA season, but that's okay. We'll settle in here in the new year. We'll settle in the new year. You know,
Ray down 40% anyway. Ain't nobody paying attention apparently.
You know, it's just it is what it is, Joe.
I listen to NBA radio every day, and people call in and say, "I'm tired of seeing people shoot threes."
We could do a whole topic on that. I think that's
it would take
bullshit.
too long. I'm not buying it either.
I like that's not what it is. It's just
they are shooting a lot of threes, but that's not what it is.
They do, but I mean, think about some of the most popular players. Like Steph Curry got popular from not shooting threes.
No,
that's what attracted people to the game. Like,
I mean, there's people shooting threes that shouldn't be.
There's old heads that probably don't like it.
Bam shoots, bro.
He needs to fucking stop.
See, I'm saying they got everybody shooting threes.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know what they could say in the NFL, Joe? NFL ratings aren't hurt, right? All these quarterbacks are running now.
No.
Just getting more skilled, more talented, adding more to the position. That's all it is.
In the NFL, 60% of the quarterbacks are trash. But that's another conversation.
Another day. Let's move on. So this is the second year of the in-season tournament. Your Lakers won it last year, Joe. This year, Darvin Ham just keeps bringing that in-season cup home, baby. The Bucks won it this year. Obviously, Darvin Ham is now an assistant.
Fuck that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Doc Rivers win a chip, and ain't nobody giving him his respect. Nah, damn that. He out there. They beat the shit out of the third best team. The third best ranked team record-wise in the NBA, and ain't nobody giving Doc Rivers respect. Damn that. He done got another chip. It took him 20 years to get one, but he got one. Don't say Darvin Ham. Say Doc Rivers.
Darvin Ham's the only undefeated coach in in-season cup history.
Doc Rivers, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Doc didn't screw it up, so that's good.
What are you talking? They started off 2-9, and then they were like on a 14-2 run. Like, come on now.
Oh, they're playing better. Let's talk about the game first, Joe. The Thunder were a late garbage time 3 away from putting up the lowest point total in the entire NBA season so far. If they had not hit that 3 with like 30 seconds left, or with like 20 seconds left, they were going to have the lowest point total for the season by any team. That's the Wizards. That's the any bottom dweller you can think of.
What did they shoot though?
They were
3 for like 29 or some crazy shit.
Yeah, they were terrible from
30. It was bad.
What'd you think of the game, Joe? I thought I missed some of the beginning of it, unfortunately, but I did catch a lot of the second half. I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a competitive game, and I think for the most part, my biggest takeaway from all this, Joe, this is back-to-back years where the players took this shit real seriously, and it to me has made
at least a star player. At least the star players.
Well, yeah, I mean, the role players have to take all the games seriously.
Exactly.
They don't got that luxury.
But you're right. Last year it was LeBron. This year it was Giannis. You could tell like that superstar player was like, "I'm winning this."
Yeah, it's I appreciate that. I think it's been an overall good thing to have at the beginning of the year, where a lot of times people don't really want to pay attention to the game. So, Joe, just kind of reflect on the entirety of the in-season tournament as well as that final game.
I like the in-season tournament. I think that they got to figure out something. I guess if you go undefeated, I guess it's tough. If you go undefeated, then if both teams go undefeated, then I guess you gotta go point differential. I think one team deserves to be at the home because I feel like the vibe is not the same when it's in Vegas because you don't have that home crowd element. So I think the crowd would be better if you was like, okay, if you win out or whatever, you will go by records. Whatever team has the best record in the East and the West out of the tournament, you get the home field advantage. Or they can make the All-Star game. Well, they fucked that up. Never mind. So I think that's the one thing they need to change is figure out the crowd. But I like the in-season tournament. I like the uniforms. I thought they did better with the courts this year. Everything about the in-season
Some of those
tournament.
damn courts are atrocious.
But everyone that says they look amazing in person, what I guess that doesn't matter.
Fair enough. Fair
When a
enough.
lot of, they say they look great in person, but most people are watching on TV, so they need to figure that out. So, but I did enjoy the in-season tournament. I thought it was fun. Every time you turn it on NBA game, and you could tell, oh, this is an in-season tournament game. I think that's a smart thing. Then in the game in general, I think the Bucks defense looked really good. I think that was one of the biggest surprises for me. Like, and then Brook Lopez, I'm still concerned about. I think he's the biggest key to that team. If he's playing like Brook Lopez of last year and early in this season, I think it's going to be tough for them. They need Brook Lopez of 2022, 2021, where he was a dominant. He could stretch the floor, but he also could play solid defense, and he was helping out. And I think they really need that back. I know he's older, but they got to figure out how to get him involved like that a little bit more. And then for OKC, I'm concerned they're small. I think they're just too small right now, and I don't know what they can do. They got a lot of picks, so they got options. They can make a trade. I think they need another piece. They're just too small. Hardenstein's a good piece, but he was hurt, so he's still trying to get in. But even with him, that's not enough rebounding for you. Chet, his size is not going to be enough, and he's hurt. So I think they just need some size. I really do. And Jalen
Yeah,
was good, but
they
they
could
need
use
something.
they need some depth, I think,
Mhm.
at that big man position because right now, without Chet, they don't have a ton of options there that I think that you want to rely on.
If they face the
Um,
Lakers again in the playoffs, they're gonna lose. Well, the Lakers aren't gonna make the playoffs, but you get my drift.
I want to go back to what you were saying about the in season tournament in general as a whole. I agree. I think it was really good television. The players really care, and you know I don't know about I don't well I'm not saying I disagree about taking the final out of Vegas. I'm telling you that's not going to happen. There's no way they're going to throw
Facts,
away that money
facts.
until LeBron retires and gets his Vegas franchise. Then maybe they'll bounce it around or something. But what I do like, what I think is a good compromise, and I think they're already floating it. At least make the semis at home. Like don't make the semis and the final in Vegas. Just make the final in Vegas. The semis, let them still have home
I
court.
like that. I like that.
But I think overall, I think they did a great job. I think it was a home run from Adam Silver implementing this into the NBA. So props to him for that. But Joe, let's take this. Let's look at those two teams, right? I think one thing that we all kind of want the in season tournament to be is this kind of early gauge on how a team can play when we get to the real playoffs. So
Eh,
let's start with the Bucks.
I mean, I also don't mind
Are
when
they
the
back?
Pacers were in there last year. The Bucks are back for sure.
Pacers went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, though.
Yeah, but we know
Just to be fair,
they're
and they
fakes.
had leads. They got their win
But
probabilities
they're
up to like
fake.
90% in every single game.
They're fake. They're fake. Come on now.
We
Look
did
at
this
them right
last
now.
time.
They're
I'm
fake.
all in on them one hit
They're
wonders,
fake.
but last year
Yeah,
it translated. Is all I'm saying.
fake.
But back to the Bucks. Are they back?
I think they're back. If Dame can do what he's doing, I mean, he's going to be a liability on defense. But it feels like they're finally, him and Giannis kind of are figuring out when it's whose turn to go. And if they can figure that out, I think they're good. I like the Bucks a lot. I think they can match up well with the Celtics if they're hot. But if they're not hot, I think it's still a tough matchup against the Celtics because they're not deep enough. But if Giannis is doing what he did when he won his chip last time, if he has that mentality and they're playing defense the right way, I don't care if Dame's a liability on defense. If he's shooting the ball like he's shooting this year, I think the Bucks can do it. I think they're definitely like the only real competition in the East for the Celtics right now. So I think the Bucks are back. I think they had an ugly start, but they were definitely injured early on too. People don't realize that either. So I think they're going to be good. I think Doc Rivers got them figured out. Winning that chip is going to give them a little bit of much confidence and ego. I like how they said they didn't pop the champagne because they're trying to win another cup later on, trying to win the championship, trying to win a
Yeah, it
trophy.
was
So I
cute.
love that mentality. I think it's a little lame because we raised banners over in LA. So I think they should put a little bit more respect on the in-season Emirates Cup. Damn it! But besides that, I think they back. I like everything I've seen out of them besides Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez played decent, but there's still too many times where
He played good in the
I saw.
final. He didn't play great leading up to the final.
That's what I'm saying. And still, I saw Hartenstein, who is, I guess he's decent. Man, we got to put a little bit more respect on his offensive game, but he did Brook Lopez a couple times, and I was like, "See, you a little too slow," or that worries me. But
I'm gonna say the Bucks are back. I think they are back to being a threat. I think the thing that I've noticed with the Bucks this season, the person that's really making the difference to me is the development of AJ Green. I think him being as good of a
yeah,
defender as he has been, which
it's a good.
last year even he was kind of a liability. He's all of a sudden become like a defensive player, and he's shooting the hell out the ball. So I think that's the piece that they kind of need next to Dame. We had talked about this last year when they got Dame. It was like, all right, how are you going to defend? Right? Like Middleton keeps having surgeries. He keeps getting older. He was once a pretty good defender, but those
Mhm.
knees can only do so much. And they kind of need it with the addition of losing Drew. It's like, okay, you just lost all of your defense in your starting backcourt, basically between surgery and then the trade. Now they kind of have it back. Like AJ Green can go lock up not lock up, but he can go be a bother to the lead guard on the opposing team. Giannis is still long as fucking annoying and a menace on defense. Brook Lopez
Oh,
still good around. Don't do that.
sorry.
Brook Lopez is still a good rim protector. Bobby Portis, he's not the greatest defender in the world. He's always going to bring intensity. So they have a lot of pieces. I agree. I think they need kind of one more, and I can't forget my boy Delon Wright off the bench. Fantastic defensive point guard. I think they do need another piece. It's probably a big. I think they're saying the Hawks are going to be shopping Clint Capella. Maybe an interesting option for them to bring off the bench if the money works. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that they are going to be a contender. Like we assumed they would have been before the season, before they got off to such that
I'm pretty sure I
terrible
did.
start.
Was you
We
there?
both had them up there. We both had them, I
Yeah,
think,
you're
top
right.
3. No, they didn't start very
Had them
good.
above Miami.
Yeah, you have everybody above Miami. That ain't nothing new for you.
Yeah.
We just keep getting proven wrong. It's all good. But what about the Thunder, Joe? What about the Thunder? Is this so? We saw them kind of flame out, albeit in the Western Conference Finals last year. So they did have a nice run. But we saw them really struggle when they played the Mavericks. All that, Mr. Consistent, blah, 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 all the things going so well. Everything on offense looks so easy. All of a sudden, it didn't really look that way in the playoffs. And it kind of looked, or I shouldn't say in the playoffs, but in that Western Conference Finals, it kind of
Well,
looked that exact same way against the Bucks in that final. So is this a bad sign for the future? Are we going to be talking about the Thunder in the same way that we used to talk about the Hawks and the Bucks before they got rid of or before they got over the hump and won the championship? Like, are they just a regular season team? Give me kind of let me gauge how you feel about OKC right now.
I mean, they are still young, but I mean, how many players? They got one player over 30, and that's Alex Caruso.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, that's real tough for a young team to go in big situations and play against a veteran team like the Bucks and win. And I think Shea's been consistent. I think the pieces around him weren't consistent in the playoffs in the Western Conference. I mean, yeah, that made him struggle. So I definitely think they need another piece offensively and they need a big man. They need a big man and they need another offensive piece to help with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They don't really have a pure 3-point shooter, and I think that's what they missing more than anything. They don't have a knockdown shooter. So if they had that, then I could see making Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's job a little bit easier. He'll get 2 or 3 more easy assists, and then they'll get rolling. And They like to play fast, and if their shot's not going in, then they're gonna get screwed because they're small and people can take advantage of that. So I think they need somebody who's a pure shooter. So those nights where other people aren't making a shot, they know they can go to somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. Isaiah Joe's been a pretty knockdown shooter his entire
Mm.
career. He doesn't get a ton of minutes though. Lou Dort, he's the one I struggle with because like if you just look at his percentage, he's a knockdown shooter.
All right, but
But it's one of those people. We've talked about this, Joe. Like there's people that shoot a good percent. Like last year, right? Jimmy Butler shot a really good percentage from three. It's not a knockdown shooter. Like there's a
nah, no,
difference from someone that takes like 8, 9 threes a game and still shoots that bitch at 40%, as opposed to somebody that takes like one a game and shoots
all right,
40%. That's a huge, huge difference. And I think that's where I think you're kind of getting it. They don't have that like high volume knockdown shooter.
none. Yeah.
Like it'll be interesting. I obviously do not want this to happen, but if my Miami Heat started to struggle, right, and then the Jimmy Butler thing happens, Duncan Robinson would be a really
Oh, okay,
interesting
okay,
person for the Thunder. That guy that you can
okay.
just have in there as a knockdown. He can get 6 or 7 shots off a game. He's not going to do a ton for you defensively, but like you're kind of saying, you got to help Shea out a little bit with some spacing. And if there's one thing that I know for certain, and I know it would work flawlessly with Isaiah Hartenstein and some DHOs, just creating a gravity to get other guys lanes. That would be an interesting option if the Heat become sellers by the time it's the deadline. If I was the Thunder, kind of one of those. You're not gonna have to give up a ton for him.
When
Maybe a
they
couple
become
second round
sellers,
picks. Don't do that. Don't do that.
it's happening, bro.
Nah.
But yeah,
Nah.
okay. See, they got too many picks and too much young talent. So they better figure it out.
Start
Sam
using
Presti
some of it.
you got to do something, Sam Presti. I'm tired of you collecting all this talent and not winning with it. And then they leave. You better do something with it because if you look at the West, it's not getting the West is young and there's a lot of talent. So
Mm-hmm.
it's OKC. Yeah, you're the young team right now, but there's other young teams. Look at the Houston Rockets. Look at Minnesota. There's other teams that are gonna be good. So you better get your shit together because your window is closing.
And look,
You can end up being a
it just
five,
has
six
to be
seed
it
next
just has to
year.
be said with OKC because of where they play.
You ain't keeping.
You you lose for too long, Shea's gonna want to go. It is what it is. You lose for too long, he'll get impatient. He'll want to go somewhere that he can win. And the moment he sees OKC is not being that place, that's gonna be the quickest. Yeah, I would like to be traded. And he'll name 3 or 4 teams, and then that'll be that. So I agree. Do something with all that arsenal you got over there. Package it up. Get you something to win right now. Right now. Caruso was a nice move in the offseason, but keep the
Better
momentum
get
going.
hey, Spurs could get Cooper Flag. You better get your shit together. That shit would be crazy. You know what I'm
But all
saying?
right, we teased it a little bit. Let's talk about it. So there's been reports that the Miami Heat will listen to offers on Jimmy Butler. Shams reported that Jimmy Butler would prefer the Suns, the Warriors, the Rockets, or the Mavs. He cited Jimmy Butler's agent as a source. Jimmy Butler's agent then refuted those claims. So
Sorta.
no, he definitely refuted it. He said, if I wasn't some middle-aged old man, I would probably do something, but I am a middle-aged suburban dad, so I'm not going to do nothing. But
Misdirection, like
what do you make of this whole situation? To me, it was really odd timing. It was right off of the Heat winning against the Suns and then beating the Cavs, and then all of a sudden Jimmy Butler wants to be traded, or not wants to be traded, but the Heat are listening to offers on Jimmy Butler. I believe is how it was phrased. So what do you make of that whole situation, Joe?
I think that, to be quite honest, yeah, I think Jimmy Butler's a really good player, and I think that they love him there. But after a while, you're
He's a
not
really
really
good
that.
35-year-old player.
Yeah. And when you gonna play? How consistent are you in playing? How do we know that you're gonna give 110% this night? How do we know you're not gonna chill until the playoffs? We got young talent. We got Bam. Hero's looking good. We got all this talent. Should we be trying to focus our team around Bam and Tyler Hero, or should we still placate to Jimmy Butler if we don't even know if he's gonna play 53 games in the season? That starts to wear thin, especially with Pat Riley. Shit. LeBron started to wear thin on Pat Riley. So Jimmy Butler is. I know you all in, and he loves that. Jimmy Butler fits that culture of Miami. But after a while, hey, bro, you 35, 36 years old. Do we really want to pay you? We need to move on. Bam's obviously our number one guy in our future. I move on. And the fact that if that's true that Houston was on one of his lists of teams he would want to go to, you telling me Jimmy Butler want to go to Houston? He want to go home. That sounds like an old man who knows towards the end he want to go home and take a couple years chilling and relaxing at home. That's what it sounds like to me.
I
But
don't.
Houston is a
I
good
don't.
team. But why would
I don't.
Houston even
I
want
don't
Jimmy
buy.
Butler? I think Jimmy
I don't really
knows.
buy the wish. I mean, like I'd agree that Jimmy probably would like to go to those teams. You just basically rattled off the top four, like some of the top teams in the West. Like, of course, he would
All right.
probably, if he was going to get traded, want to go there. I don't see it happening. Like, yes, do I think Pat Riley may have been a little annoyed after how many games Jimmy missed in the regular season last year?
And then that bullshit he said
Sure.
after they lost in the playoffs.
I mean, I know Pat Riley did not like that, but
He said what he said on purpose, but I don't think it's a big deal. But
I just don't like.
I think it was
Okay, Jimmy should think if he played today that the Heat would win. Like, I don't find it to be that controversial.
motherfucker
I
played
just,
it. Oh, you didn't though, because
I mean, tore his knee. The thing that I know about the Heat, they never punt on a season. Like, unless the Heat are getting back somebody that is like Jimmy Butler caliber, they're not gonna unless the season falls apart, right? Unless we're at the trade deadline, the Heat are like 20 and 40, or, whatever, 15 and 40, something like that. Okay, yeah, maybe they'll move at that point. But if the Heat are sitting just right around where they are right now, in the playoffs, right around the third seed,
they're gonna think they can make it.
there's no way
Yeah.
they're gonna make that trade. There's just no way. Unless they get, like, the only one that made sense of all the teams that they got on there really was the Suns to me. Because the Suns are the only one that I think can offer them something to where they can still be competitive. And that something is obviously Beal. You basically just do a swap. Beal for Jimmy. Heat get a guy that's 5 years younger in that same caliber of player, probably not quite as good as Jimmy. The Suns get to go all in right now with that team. They upgrade a little bit with a guy that doesn't need shots and just wants to be a menace out there. So like that's the only one that I could really like. What are people keep like? Oh, well, what do you mean the Mavs? The Heat aren't going to give you Jimmy Butler for no Derek Lively. Like that's not going to get the job done. The Heat don't want
that's not happening. No, you're not getting Derek Lively in a
unless you're coming off of Luka or Kyrie. The Mavs don't have anything that the Heat want. The Rockets, I just don't see them coming off of a Jalen Green, a Şengün, any of those like young guys.
And they got developed that culture. Why would they bring Jimmy Butler and an older guy who's going to want to take over?
Well, I mean, yeah, like it doesn't really.
And Dylan
they're
Brooks,
doing well right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like they are doing well. There's no reason for them to be like, you know what? Yeah, let's package these young guys up and move. Like, it doesn't really make sense. And what was the other one? I think the Warriors were listed at one point. I just don't think the Heat
Warriors
want
didn't make sense either.
I don't think the Heat want, like, they're not going to come off stuff, and like no one else on that team, I don't think the Heat would really be interested in. Kuminga's got potential, but his fit next to Bam,
bro. I'm tired.
Even if you bought the potential, he's just Bam.
Golden State Warriors the only team that got players who have potential for 6 years. Get out of there. No, you just can't develop players. You got lucky with Steph and Clay and Draymond. Name another player you developed. You had Jordan Poole, and what happened?
Had to get him out of there because of Draymond. James Wiseman was supposed to be this all-world talent. Didn't develop. Yeah, their players go other places and start developing.
True.
I'll give them that. But hey. But let's talk about the Warriors because they did make a trade. They traded for Dennis Schroeder from transaction. Not even a trade, just a transaction. Dennis Schroeder from the Brooklyn Nets. You know, he's been having a really nice season with Brooklyn. What do you think of this fit, Joe? This one interests me a little bit. What do you think?
I hate it, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I've seen Dennis Schroeder play on so many different teams. He's that guy he should have the Pat Beverly attitude, but he has the D'Angelo Russell attitude. I'm the number one guy. I'm supposed to be taking this shot. And I've seen it so many times when he was with the Lakers, and he'll take a bad shot. And you're with the Golden State Warriors, and that's the one thing they don't play. And I don't think Dennis Schroeder is going to fit that culture whatsoever. I don't know why people always covet him. I think he's a decent point guard. I don't think he's somebody that's going to help. Ooh, we need to make this move so we can be more solid to make a run in the playoffs. I don't think he's going to add nothing to you. He may give you one thing in the playoffs, which I guess would be I think that's something you do later in the season. I don't think you do it this early. I don't like the fit at all. I hate it. I guess it gives Steph less pressure. I don't know. I don't know what it does. I hate it. I hate it 100%. But I guess they didn't really have to give up nothing, so
Yeah, didn't really give up
why
much.
not?
I don't. I did find this just weird.
I just
Like
laughed at it when
I
first
thought it
saw
was weird that the Warriors were the team that got that aggressive that quickly to go get him. I also would have thought that the Nets would have tried to leverage a little more.
They didn't want his ass
they didn't,
either.
right? But they didn't have to they didn't have to make a move right now. Like they could have they're not going anywhere this year. They could have waited to the deadline and let someone panic to just try and make sure. Oh, we gotta get that one last piece to get us
Or
over.
maybe they used him to let people know that hey, Cam Thomas is open. We finna trade everybody. The floodgates is open.
Maybe.
I don't know why it just doesn't make sense to me. The trade makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. The way Schroeder has played in his career lately, I kind of like you said, I just don't really see the fit with Golden State. Like he's not like a guy that moves the ball quickly, run, screen, come off a screen, hit a knockdown. That's not really what he does. Early in his career, he was a pretty good kind of fast-paced guy, set the table, get to the rim. It feels like he's become less of that. Maybe they think, well, in a shortened role, 12, 15 minutes off the bench, he can kind of do that in short spurts. Maybe. I'm not going to kill the Warriors for it. I don't think it's a bad move. It's kind of a nothing move to me. I really liked the Buddy Hield move in the offseason. Yes. This one, I'm a little, I don't quite get this one as much why they coveted him so bad. Austin Rivers had a take after this, and he was mad about it.
He thought it should be him.
No, he thought from the perspective he really thought that Dennis Schroeder would be a good fit for your Lakers.
I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear it. JJ ain't taking it. He already got one bad point guard on his team. He ain't taking it.
I don't think he got it. I didn't quite get what Austin was getting at, but hey, he played.
We've seen that before. We've seen that before. We don't want to do that again.
Yeah, I don't think the Lakers need another guard that doesn't play defense. I don't think that's really what the Lakers need. No. They need to package some guys up to get some more defensive-minded players to go along with the new offensive system and Austin Reeves and Dalton Knecht.
I don't even care, bro. I swear it would have been the greatest thing ever. They should have did it just for the television. And then put Golden State on national TV.
Here you LeBron fans go. Y'all always want to say some shit. They should have done it. No.
I want to free that man from that. I don't want to talk about it.
You don't like that organization anymore?
I don't know what they're doing, bro.
The roster just kind of is what the roster is at this point. I don't think the Lakers got much wiggle room.
It's been like that for 3 years. We've been complaining about the roster for 3 years.
Ever since they made the trade for Russ, they gave up the rest of their pieces, and they've just been cap-tied ever since.
Which I'm mad that people blame LeBron for. That's not LeBron's fault. That's motherfucking. You don't have to placate to LeBron. Motherfucking, what's his name? Jerry Krause didn't placate to Michael Jordan. He said, "No, fuck you. This is my team. We're gonna do what I do."
Joe, you know what the perfect example is? Every time LeBron leaves a team, what happens?
They fall apart.
Except for one.
Right.
What did they not do?
Placate to LeBron.
They didn't placate to LeBron James. They set boundaries.
You gotta placate to a certain amount, but you don't gotta. You don't let him.
You don't have to do everything.
GM,
every time he says, "I want this person," I don't even know if LeBron said he wanted Russ. I have no idea.
But even if he did,
you have to have boundaries. You are the GM. There is a reason that you separate all of those different titles. There's a reason that the coach is not supposed to be the GM. It all can get too personal. Too many different feelings get involved. You have to set those Standards.
Mhm.
When LeBron and Wade and Bosh said they wanted Eric Spoelstra fired, Pat Riley said, "That's funny. Fuck no, he's not going
Yep.
anywhere. Y'all are gonna win with him. They won 2 championships. So you want to trade? No. We're gonna do it our
Mhm.
way."
Yep.
And they didn't follow up. Now they obviously didn't have the same success once LeBron left. But they were still a pretty good team. Lakers.
But Chris Bosh fell apart, and then D Wade
Yeah,
fell apart.
they were about
they
to
were
be a really
set.
good. If
Yeah,
Bosh did not get that heart issue, they were going to still be a problem in the East.
Bosh was gonna be like top 3 MVP votes. Like he was going crazy. He was
They
like
just brought in
25 and
Dragic to go in there
13.
with them too. Like, yeah, that was about to be a team right
He
there.
was going crazy.
But let's get back to this season, Joe. I got an interesting start sit cut for you. These are 3 teams that I don't think anybody had pegged as contenders to go into this year, but all have good records or are probably at least
Maybe
better
one
than
of
what
these
people.
teams we thought was gonna be good. Maybe not contender,
Yeah,
but
but
we
I
thought we
don't
were
know
gonna be
about
right under
not
there.
to the extent that I think that they've started, especially if we're talking about the same team missing who they're missing. But we're going to do start,
that
sit,
part.
cut.
They're missing 2 people.
Orlando Magic, Atlanta Hawks, who had a really impressive run in the in-season tournament, and then the Houston Rockets. Start, sit, cut, Joe.
I'm starting the Magic off rip. I like, even without Franz Wagner and without Pablo Panchero, they still being competitive. Who was
Man.
it? Was it the Bucks they almost beat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, without both of those players. So
They're top 2.
so I'm starting them. I like how they play defensively. They gritty, they grindy. They just, oh man, I wish they had they need a pure shooter. That's gonna hurt them in the playoffs. But I'm starting them. I'm going to sit the Houston Rockets. I like the Houston Rockets a lot. I told you that Michael Jackson was going to be a good NBA player, and you kept shitting on him. And now look at Jalen Green out there balling out. He just needed to learn how to take better shots. That's Michael Jackson. Look at him. That's Michael Jackson clone. Tell me I'm not lying. He still takes a lot of
never
bad
hated
shots.
on Jalen Green as a
Yes, you
basketball
did.
player.
You hated it because I said he was
just
going to be. I said
he
was
made some
rookie of the year.
questionable off-season.
And then I said he was going to be rookie of the year. Remember?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, and he was terrible. Yeah, so, but he finally got it together. I like that team a lot. They got the right pieces. The coach Ime Doka he's proven to be a really good coach. Like I
Very
can't
good
hate on him.
basketball coach.
He knows how to get the culture right. I can't hate on it.
Basketball
So
culture.
that means I got to cut the Hawks. So I mean, I just can't trust them. I get it. Like Trae Young he's the Knicks killer. It is what it is.
He's
He's the Knicks killer. It is what it
I do
is.
not want to see his ass in the
That just
playoffs.
is what it is
right now.
But I just
Oh my
don't
God.
trust. I don't trust them. They're too finished. I like Trae Young. Trae Young is shooting horribly this year, but every other stuff is going up, and the Hawks do look better. And they got another guy who can handle the ball and pass the ball. They do look better, but they too inconsistent. Quinn Snyder is doing a great job, but they still too inconsistent.
You can tell now. You can see the Quinn Snyder fingerprints all over this team.
Mm-hmm.
All over this team.
Took 2 years, and Trae Young almost got him fired, but it's working.
But they saw it through.
But they still too inconsistent for me.
I hate to do this, Joe, but I actually got the same order as you do.
Damn.
I'm going to start the Magic, like you said, missing who they're missing, and still getting all these wins. And even when they lose, it's real close. It's real tough. Jalen Suggs steps up when those guys are out, and then he can fall right back into place when they come back. I love that. I
Looking like an
completely
80s player by the head. What, how old is he? 26, 27? If that.
Something like
That boy got a sunroof. Crazy.
I'm with you 100% on them needing a shooter, though.
Man.
They gotta get somebody again, knockdown shooter. They need it. They need it real bad. I was close to putting the Hawks in the sit, but the Rockets they've been more consistent. You know, they had a good start last year, then faded at the end. But you can kind of see the potential with that team, and it looks like they're starting to realize that potential this year. Jalen Green is having a really nice season. Şengün's having a really nice season. Fred VanVleet's playing his role, I think, very well. Reed Shepherd, the rookie, has had some nice moments.
He's a really good defender, though.
I think his role will have to grow as the season goes on if they really want to take another step.
Grayson Allen,
But
but a better version. That's what he needs to be.
similar, yeah, like that's the kind of role I think he needs to embrace. It's gonna be tough where he was drafted. I think it's harder to get someone that young drafted that high to accept that. But I do like where they're going. Jabari Smith is having a nice kind of improvement this year. He's
Mhm.
shooting the ball, still playing really good defense. I think Steven Adams was a good locker room guy to have there. You know, he's only going to give you 10, 12 minutes now, but they're going to be tough minutes, and he might knock somebody out cold with one of them damn screens. So I think I like what they're building there. But I do want to give props to the Hawks. That's kind of why I found a way to put them in this. That team is that is not the same old Hawks. That is not the
You're right.
same team that was soft, that you could kind of bully and bulldoze. No, they got some dogs on that team now. That Dyson Daniels, I forget who. I think it was New Orleans let him get out of there. That was one of the dumbest
Mhm.
things they ever did. He was a menace in
Yup.
all of those games. He was giving Jalen Brunson hell. He was giving Dame hell. I mean, he was playing some really, really, really good defense. Can still hit the occasional three.
Mhm.
Can handle the ball a little bit. And again, it just takes that pressure off of Trey as that lead guard. Trey can just focus on offense. Just go on offense. And you know, even Trey's been playing a lot harder on defense.
He has.
He's been playing a
Yes.
lot harder on defense. I want to give him credit for that. He's still not a great defender just because of his size, but he's been playing a lot harder. But yeah, I got the same list as you, Joe. That doesn't happen very often on here. Look at you. You're having a good day, Joe.
I was gonna say you having a good day.
You're having a good day, Joe. Look at you. But we got some good news,
I
Joe.
do.
We got some fun news to talk about. It is that time where the Hall of Fame has they have said who is up for the Hall of Fame for their first time. So we got some people from our childhood, Joe. We're getting to that age where this is getting weird.
Yeah, it is.
Damn, I grew up watching you. But we got Melo, we got Dwight Howard, we got Marc Gasol, Sue Bird, and Maya Moore are all up for the first time for the Hall of Fame. Some others, I think Doc Rivers is also up, since you seem to love him today.
The NBA put him as a top 10 NBA coach of all time. Okay,
they can be on drugs. It's fine.
or top 15, whichever one they did. But when they did the
was 15.
75 year,
I think it was
he
15.
He was on that list.
That's fine. I know they do a lot of drugs over there. It's all good. But Joe, what do you
he's
think
all
of it? What do you think of this list right here?
Melo, Hall of Famer.
All first ballot.
Melo, first ballot. Dwight Howard, first ballot. Marc Gasol, Hall of Good. Sue Bird, first ballot. Maya Moore, first ballot. Marc Gasol is not a Hall of Famer.
You don't think Marc Gasol's a Hall of Famer?
Does he have a championship?
Got some deep boys.
He does.
You keep trying to sell me Rudy's a Hall of Famer.
Rudy has the most.
I'm just saying, I think Marc Gasol was probably a better defender than Rudy and actually could play offense.
I agree, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I can't put Marc Gasol in there. Like, I don't think I think I can go 2 decades of NBA basketball and not mention Marc Gasol.
I'm not mad at that.
So I don't think
I'm not mad at that. I'm happy that he is up for it. I think he deserves recognition to kind of be mentioned around the Hall of Fame. I don't think I disagree.
I think him and Zebo deserve a statue together in Memphis, maybe. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm torn, Joe. You know, like, because of just like that team was so good. I know they never won anything. That team was so good, and those two were such a cornerstone of that team. It's just hard for me to think that no one from that team might not get into the Hall of Fame. I guess Conley will probably get in.
Because he got
maybe.
Shit, yeah.
But I agree, Melo and Dwight, first ballot. That's not a question. Sue Bird, first ballot, not a question. Maya Moore is a Hall of Fame person. Her career was very short.
But it was impactful.
Because she is a Hall of Fame person.
But they're gonna take in her. They're gonna take in her UConn career into account.
It is the Naismith, so you know they do look at college.
Yeah, so you put that college in there. It's
I'm telling you right now, I want Maya Moore to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes,
I think she should be in the Hall of Fame. I just wonder, I guess, how if that will come into question at all, because she obviously cut her career much short, basically still in her prime.
To help get a man out of prison.
To get a man, not just a man, a bunch of men that are wrongfully convicted out of prison.
And then she married one of them.
Yeah, her first case, yeah, they did get married. So she's a Hall of
Right.
Fame person.
Facts.
So she should be in there.
I
The Hall of Fame
feeling,
will be a
I have
lot
a
better.
feeling that she's from St. Louis. Or she has St. Louis ties. I'm pretty sure she has St. Louis ties.
I think she has St. Louis ties. I don't think she's from.
Yeah,
St.
she
Louis.
has some type of St. Louis ties.
Yeah, I think you are right about that. But all right, Joe, you know how we end this show. We choose love. We choose violence. So what you got?
You know, I'm choosing violence, bro. And she's from Jefferson City, Missouri, bro. Yeah, we claiming that. What you mean? We are claiming that for sure. What you mean? Hell yeah, we claiming that.
We're claiming the meth capital of the country, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, that's not that far. We claiming that shit. That's the metro area. No, it's not. That's like 3.5 hours away. We got that shit. I'm going violence, and I'm choosing violence on the NBA players and NBA fans who are giving Adam Silver shit because he had to change up the All-Star game. It's the players' fault that we had to change up the All-Star game and come up with all this gimmicky shit. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, all these legendary players came and talked to these NBA players and told them how important and how seriously they used to take the All-Star game. The players sat there and listened to all those legends and said, "Man, get the fuck out of here. We're not trying to do none of that." And Adam Silver and the NBA has done everything they can in the last 20 years of LeBron's time in the NBA. They have placated to players, and I have gave LeBron all the love in the world for giving players power. But goddamn it, a little bit is too much now. Y'all motherfuckers need to show up and play at the All-Star game. We don't even want to watch the dunk contest no more. We literally watched the All-Star game for the 3-point contest, and now everybody's complaining about people shooting too many threes in games. So which one is it? So don't get mad at Adam Silver. Get mad at these players because we give them everything they want. They making $300 million and they don't want to sit there and participate for a weekend. You get a whole fucking 2 weeks off. You don't want to participate for one night out of those 2 weeks off. Get the fuck out of here. And then we got to entice you with money just to hopefully get a little bit of competition out of you. No one's asking for the NBA players to sit here and give me playoff competition. You can't give me summer league, Drew League competition that y'all do. Y'all go to the gym all the time in front of crowds and give me a little bit more effort than that. That's all we're asking for. If not, we might as well just get YouTube and social media people to come out and do dunks and stuff. That'd be more entertaining.
I'm with you from a sense that I don't think Adam Silver deserves blame for any of this. I also just find it really weird and annoying all these people complaining about a fucking All-Star game. It doesn't matter.
Man. But
it does not.
It doesn't matter. It used to matter when it mattered. I guess, does the All-Star game matter in baseball anymore either? You remember if the East or West won, that's who would get the home field advantage in the World Series?
See, now I was always in the minority. I actually liked that.
I like that shit too. We need to bring that back.
People were like, it's stupid to determine the home field advantage, blah, blah, blah. No matter what way you determine the home field advantage in the World Series, it's going to have a flaw to it. At least this one provides meaning to the All-Star game in the middle of the season. Now, I mean, baseball is a little different because just the likelihood of getting injured by trying in baseball is so much less than in the NBA. So, I get that it's different, and so they can continue to, you're almost asking to get hurt. If you're pitching, I'm only going to throw 85 miles per hour. All right, that bitch might come right back at you then. So I get it. It's different.
But you tell me OKC and the other teams wouldn't be like...
I wish the players took it seriously and played. I'm not saying
just a little.
I don't want them to. I'm just saying I also just don't really care if they don't want to. If they don't want to, fine. That's where I'm at. If you want, I'll put it like this, Joe. If they want them to play, do it like the NFL. Do it after the season. I bet you they play harder then.
I bet you
the main reason why they don't want to play hard right in the middle of the season is they don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, but if you do it after the season, then the teams that made it in the finals ain't gonna show up. Okay. And that could be 6. That can be 6 All-Stars sometimes, or it could be 2. But you're right. They got to come up with something besides all these gimmicks.
I got violence, Joe. I'm going to a different sport, and I'm throwing it at this team that I claim to love, but I throw a lot of violence their way these last couple of years. Those damn Chicago Cubs for making Sammy Sosa apologize for how he acted when he was playing. Get
No,
the
they
fuck
did
out.
they really?
Yes, Tom Ricketts said he's said this ever since he bought the goddamn team. He said that the only way Sammy will be welcomed back to Wrigley is if he apologizes for how he acted when he was in the MLB, trying to get him to apologize for using steroids, to cork bat, whatever, all that bullshit. Shut the fuck up.
You're
right?
not
The reason why exactly, and the person that Tom Ricketts very publicly puts his money towards is a goddamn sexual assaulter about to run the country into the fucking ground. All right, so he's got no moral ground to fucking stand on. We're talking about some baseball. That's first. Second of all, you have an entire generation of Cubs fans like myself, right? Grew up in St. Louis, grew up in Cardinals country.
Cubs fans because
I'm a Cubs fan, literally because of Sammy Sosa. My first memories of watching the team and of watching baseball in general is that 1998 McGuire Sosa home run derby in the regular season. And I saw Sammy play a bunch, and I thought the little hop and everything was the coolest shit in the world. I was like, that's my favorite player. That's going to be my favorite team. And I feel like he's like spitting on like this entire generation of Cubs fans' face when every time he does this. I want Sammy Sosa to apologize. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, who cares?
How about you apologize? How about you apologize to me? You embarrassed me by who you fucking publicly support. Apologize to me. Give me the money back for all the Sosa jerseys that I bought then while we're at it. Like miss me with all that bullshit.
You're so right. Yeah. I bet they still make money off of that. They still make money off of that, but they don't want.
They put Sosa jerseys in the goddamn team store. Those bitches would sell out just as fast right now.
Oh hell yeah!
Miss me with all this bullshit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm happy that Sammy will be back at Wrigley this year, so I do like that. But I think it's such bullshit they make.
Is he going to be black?
Don't do this.
I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know.
You know what he looks
know.
like. All right, you know what he looks like.
Good thing he's not going to Cooperstown because everybody's bronzing that. He may not be happy with that. He may.
All right, we're 3 in the pot.